Kids Health Watch with Dr. Sang is sponsored by Sang Pediatrics.
Every month we focus on the health of children with local pediatrician Dr. Nu Sang from Sang Pediatrics in Fresno. And Dr. Sang, thanks a lot for being here today.
Thank you, Kim.
Today we are talking about ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
That's right.
Before we talk about treatment and all of that, can you just tell us, what is it?
Yeah, right. So ADHD is a brain disorder in children. Most kids are born with it, and they usually tend to outgrow it by the time they're teenagers.
Oh.
But we still don't know a lot of things about it, and so because we don't know a lot of things about it, there's a lot of misperceptions about it. So I'm really glad to come on to the show and try to clear up some of these misconceptions.
Okay, so first, pretty common?
Oh, it's super common. So
Okay.
the thing is that millions of children are affected by ADHD, and millions of adults too, but we don't really think about it. About 6 million children in the United States are afflicted, and that's 9.4 of the population.
Okay.
And it's the most common neurodevelopmental disorder that we know about. So yes, millions of people, and in adults too. And adults don't even get diagnosed because they don't even think about it, because we think of it as a kid's thing.
I have a friend who was diagnosed in her late 30s, and she was so relieved when she finally understood why she could never get her tasks done.
And that's so important, because once we actually get the correct diagnosis, we can give the correct treatment, as with any disease.
Okay, well, let's talk about signs first.
Yes, okay, go ahead.
Signs of ADHD.
The signs of ADHD, right. So there's two parts of it. You know, you break it down, attention deficit and hyperactivity disorder.
Okay.
So you have the inattentive type. When it's predominant, you get a difficult to complete task or difficult to pay attention. You forget things easily, you're easily distracted. That's the inattentive type. And then you get the hyperactive type, when they're fidgety and they can't sit still and they're impulsive. And people tend to dismiss them, especially young children, as kind of being disruptive and bad kid. But a lot of times there's something underlying there that's preventing them to focus.
Okay. That does not keep them, though, from being successful in life. My friend who I was just talking about was an Olympian. She ran in the Olympics and she won a medal. So, you know, she's certainly not a loser.
Right. No, not at all.
So, okay, so you got these signs. What causes it? You said we're oftentimes born with it?
Yeah, we're usually born with it. We don't actually know the exact cause. There is family history involved. So sometimes when somebody in your family has ADHD, somebody else will have it. So there's probably a genetic cause for it, but we don't know yet.
Okay.
But because we don't know, people tend to project things that are untrue. So what we do know is what doesn't cause ADHD are things like you eat too much sugar. That's not what causes ADHD.
Okay.
It's a disorder of the brain. It's not from that. It's not from watching too much TV or having bad parents, or if the mom took drugs during pregnancy or something like that. That's all been disproven. That doesn't cause ADHD, so I want everyone to understand to not apply their prejudice towards it.
Thank you. That is so important. Well, how can someone be treated for this?
Right. So
or
there's
manage it?
Right. So a lot of parents also think, when they come into my clinic, they think that I'm going to sedate them or cause their kid to become a zombie.
Right.
We don't do that. You know, do no harm is the first rule of medicine. And so a lot of the younger children, they get behavioral modification either through a child psychologist or a therapist, non-medicated. And then when we do medicate, we usually try to titrate the medicine, make it a slow progress, make sure there's no side effects.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to sedate anybody, I'm trying to help them focus. That's really it, is to give them medicine, help them focus. There's stimulants and non-stimulant medication. There's a lot of new non-stimulant medication out there. So go see your doctor or child psychiatrist and they can help you with that.
Because without helping, it can really be harmful to the child. I mean, we need to focus.
I'll give you one quick example.
Yeah.
There was a 6-year-old kid who came to me. The grandma didn't know who I was or anything like that. I treated him, and she said the next day he could write his name, whereas before he couldn't write it. And I just gave him medicine, help him focus, and he could write his name. So
something so simple but so important.
Right, and he was only 6. He was in first grade. So I mean, there are success stories out there. It is treatable. I want everyone to get help.
Thank you, Dr. Sang, so much. Really appreciate the help.
Thank you, Kim.
And clearing out the misnomers. So again, this is Dr. Sang from Sang Pediatrics. If you would like to maybe watch this segment again, maybe share it with a family member, or even learn how to contact Dr. Sang at one of the 2 Sang Pediatrics locations in Fresno, just go to knph.com and click the tab. It's labeled Kids Health Watch with Dr. Sang.